Hey, fans of Monday Movie Club, I'm going senile. This week,
Going.
Annie chose WarGames from
Oh,
1983, which is number 1,497 on the Frank. I know, who cares? All right. I'm Frank Gaffney. With us always, Joel Fenster in his purple. Where are you, Joel? You're sitting the wrong way. What's going on?
I am sitting there. Yeah.
No memorabilia from WarGames?
Why?
Okay. Mark G has no picture up.
Yeah.
Cringer and Goldfork, also in purple.
Oh, yeah.
And Annie King is on her way back from NYC.
You real soon.
Yeah, right.
NYC real soon. All right. Annie, so you're first. You picked this. Why WarGames?
Yeah, it's just something I watched way back when that I enjoyed a lot. So,
But is this a remote dropper? Have you seen it since you saw it?
not in like say 20 years, but it was on
Right.
recently,
Right.
and like within the last month and a half or so. So I did watch half of it,
Right.
wherever I caught the middle of it.
Right. Okay, here's the basic plot. High school student Matthew Broderick unwittingly hacks into a military supercomputer while searching for new video games. After starting a game of what he thinks is a game of global nuclear war, thermonuclear war.
Global.
He leads the supercomputer to activate the nation's nuclear arsenal in a response to simulated threats from the Soviet Union. Ali Sheedy plays his girlfriend. And Matthew Broderick here, he's 21. He's playing a 17-year-old, maybe 18. I don't know.
Sounds right.
And if you were a kid in 1983, I was 25. This was a great fantasy thing. You could help prevent World War III. Woo! It was exciting.
But you weren't helping prevent it. You started it anyway.
Yeah.
Unwittingly.
Yes.
But watching it today, though, and it's 15 minutes till we meet our hero, and he's playing Galaga video game. Is that it?
Yeah, Galaga, sure.
I don't remember playing Galaga, but
oh my god,
that was a biggie, but it was so hard I sucked at it.
Okay.
Wow.
And but there's a lot of seriousness before that 15 minutes, so it kind of lays the groundwork for what happens. And this is 3 years before Matthew Broderick had his really huge hit with Ferris Bueller, and he is pretty adorable here too. He's got such a quirky, charming personality thing going on. But it is very much 1983. Floppy disks were like this big.
Yeah,
sure.
And dialing in with the phone. Oh my God. But what cracked me up more than anything else was the dad buttering the corn.
Oh my God, yes.
I did that. Joan did that, yeah.
What the hell was that about?
It does make it easier.
It did seem pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And then to book a flight to Chicago to Paris for $171.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Okay, so I wrote, I don't know what I wrote yet. Global thermonuclear war. Oh my God. So he thinks he's talking to a video game company. So why is that alarming?
It wasn't alarming to him at all.
Yeah, right. It wasn't in the beginning.
Video companies made, games that you can fall for, not destruction constantly.
All right. So, and the music is all very much late 70s, early 80s.
Hi there, puppy.
Hello.
Felix, the cat.
Felix
The dog. He actually did meow yesterday. I'm not kidding. I'm like, what?
That's funny.
Meow.
Wakey, wakey.
All right, that's enough.
I expected you just to like throw.
Yeah, like you would with a cat.
No, he was scratching me to get up. Okay. Okay. So, and the music definitely dates it to the late 70s, early 80s, progressive-y, rocky.
That's part of the charm. It's okay.
It's more than a little contrived and almost silly given what we know today. But at the time, it was some serious cutting-edge shit. But it's just so odd. They take this kid so seriously, And of course, the military is so paranoid, and they're all a bunch of
I mean, this
assholes.
was, wasn't this the middle of the Cold War? Of course they would.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm saying of the time, but this line made me smile. David, is this because of what you did with my grade?
I wrote that down too. It's a great line.
Oh. And so after I watched the movie, because it's on Max, right? Max, is that right?
Yeah.
It recommended I watch Red Dawn next.
Yeah. I saw that too.
I'm like,
It makes sense. Sure.
But it was a huge hit. Made 75 million in the U.S., which would be, excuse me, Joel.
That was Amy and Cringer.
It was raspberry time.
Can I
Sorry.
talk here?
No.
One more. Give him one
It
more.
grossed 75 million in the U.S., which would be 265 million in today's money. So that's a huge hit. And it was even nominated for 3 Oscars, including Best Screenplay, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But it's 2.5 stars for me. It doesn't have the impact it had in 1983, and I was somewhat bored with it. I think I want to say it's kind of a kids movie, a little bit. Does that make sense, Amy? You think?
Yeah. I certainly loved it at 17. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even at 25, I thought, oh, this was great.
Yeah, but it was also when you saw it. It wasn't just the age. I think if I attempted to show that to my kids now, they'd,
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't even sit until Matthew Broderick came on the screen.
They wouldn't. They still wouldn't give a shit. So
that's what I'm saying. They would leave before he even got there.
Yeah.
All right, so Aim, I said my stars.
Well, and I have to vehemently disagree with your stars. I'm sorry. This at 17 was my absolute favorite movie at the time. I have probably in my life seen it 50 times.
Wow.
And I just saw it, I want to say, in around 2020 or so. I really loved it. It was my favorite Matthew Broderick movie until, of course, my all-time favorite Matthew Broderick movie, which I can't believe we've never picked, and I'm picking it for next year.
Producers?
Yeah.
Nice. Wouldn't you go with the
This is
original?
a musical.
Yeah.
No, not the producers, Mark.
Oh.
Ferris Bueller.
Oh, okay. No, I thought
Joel
you were
was just being funny.
I was being a jackass.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know
Joel
how
was
much
just
you like,
being Joel.
but I know how much you like the producers.
A funny jackass.
But the musical version, the musical movie version of the producers is terrible. So
It is terrible.
Joel's being a fractional ass.
yes.
So I don't really, I mean, I love that line. I made a comment in my notes, which I can't get to right now. I'm way too busy, about it being impossible to win tic-tac-toe. And when I did a little more research in the trivia on that, they meant like if you make logical choices, if you make illogical choices, then of course you're going to win. So but anyway, who cares? I love the movie. At the time, I would have given it 4 stars. Today, I'll give it 3.5. And I knew almost every line.
Wow.
You want to spout another one for us?
No.
Well, you know everyone.
Now
Let's
I
hear
can't think of one. There's too much pressure.
Okay. Well, and I also read that it spawned several video games, a 2008 sequel, and a 2018 interactive series. Joel, what?
Yes, I didn't care.
So you didn't? What was the sequel?
It's called like the WarGames, the Dead Code or something like that.
And is Matthew Broderick in it?
Oh no, the only character that's in it, and it's iffy. It's iffy as to whether it's the same universe or not because he's still alive. Is Doctor
John Wood? John Wood.
Yeah,
Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon.
Falcon.
But he's not played by him, so it's yeah.
That was funny too when the credits came up and he was like one of the first 4 people, and I'm like, who the hell is John Wood?
Yeah,
I know, but he looks so familiar to me, and then I'm just thinking, I guess maybe he just looked familiar because of this movie, because I didn't really know much of his other stuff.
50 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I the less said about the sequel, the better.
All right. So what about the original?
If you ever wanted the perfect example of a dated movie in a bad way, this is it.
I don't know. Have you seen the China Syndrome lately?
No, admittedly, I have not, but I'm sure that also fits into that category. It's it was great at the time, but over the years, it's just kind of technology has surpassed the actual plot.
But I don't think that's
And
fair to, I don't think that's a fair thing to put against the movie.
In some cases,
no,
yes.
I think the whole thing was,
No.
yeah, I think it just was very quaint. It was
Yeah.
like,
It's
I don't
of a
know. We've
time.
moved so far.
It's of a time. It's stuck in that time. There's not much you can do about it at this point. It's not a bad movie per se. I mean, it's still, I mean, I've seen it a few times over the years. Admittedly, I don't think I had seen it in at least 15, 20 years at this point. It's still competently made. It's very suspenseful. I mean, it's going to happen, but it still has those moments of suspense in it.
Yeah, but I agree, Joel. It holds no nostalgia factor for me. I saw it in 1983, and I saw it yesterday. That was like,
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, you were older in 1983 than I was. I was probably of a similar age as Matthew Broderick's character, or probably
right.
a little bit
But
younger.
you didn't have that computer set up.
No, but we had a computer, a big chunky thing that with the green screen and the blocky letters and the printer that
And
and
the dial-up modem.
the dial-up modem. And although I don't think we ever had the floppy disks that were that big,
Yeah, that was huge.
we had cassette tapes that you'd put into a cassette player that was hooked up to the computer, and that would run things. Yeah.
Oh no, didn't have that.
Yeah. So that's
Just
how
a regular.
But I mean, it's other than that, it's competently made. I don't have much else to say about it. I'm gonna also give it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I kind of faded out. I'm like, I really don't care if they blow up the world.
Yeah. Well, that has to do with this past week than anything else.
Oh well, yeah. Why'd you change to Joshua? I don't get it.
You don't get Joshua?
Is Joshua Matthew Broderick's name?
Just watch
the son
Oh
of
my
the doctor.
Name of the computer that almost blew up the world.
Amy Goldman, do not say, "Oh my God!" You saw it 50 times. I saw it twice.
Yeah, but he must have said Joshua 50 times in the
He
movie.
did.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Let's be realistic about this, Amy. Would you have remembered that Joshua was the computer if you hadn't seen it in the last 72 hours?
Me? No.
Yeah, you. No.
I would.
Well,
Thank
we know
you, yes.
would. We're talking about Amy.
All right, Mark. This seems like one that would be up your alley, though.
Surprisingly, it's not. This is not a go-to movie for me. Although I will just say that just when you guys were talking about it, what popped in my mind is the first time I heard Falcon, my mind immediately went to Star Trek, and I heard Spock, you're out of your Falcon mind instead of Vulcan. But no, this is not a go-to for me. I maybe
So
saw it twice.
1983, you were what?
I was 8.
Oh, so not.
I was a little young, although I did see it in the 80s once, and then I saw it maybe 4 years ago. Danielle said, hey, let's throw this in. And she actually, usually I'm the one trying to convince her to watch 80 movies. She made me watch it. I enjoyed it. But it's so far removed from me that I don't remember. I don't remember any lines. Like Amy, who saw it 50 times, she could recite lines. She remembers everything. It was like watching it for the first time for me, which was fun because it was a new movie that I've seen before. I cracked up at the
It's going to
ashtray.
happen a lot more as you get older.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
The ashtray in the infirmary, that's so pre-90s, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Joshua sounds just like Speak and Spell.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And I thought the premise was great, especially at that time during the Cold War. This has got to be, now that you said that it won a Best Screenplay, I kind of get it. It would have been
it was nominated. It did not win.
What didn't you say it won 3 Oscars?
Nominated.
Oh, nominated. Sorry. Okay.
Nominated for 3, won 0.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And Joshua was clearly the beginnings of AI. And I was actually surprised, again, maybe because I'm a little bit younger, I was surprised that in 1983 we're already able to dial into computers remotely. I didn't realize that we were already that far advanced, although I'm sure they maybe played around with that a little bit more, that you couldn't really break into NORAD, I'm sure, from your home
No.
computer as a teenager in 1983. But it was interesting to see that we were that far ahead. My one real nit to pick is that it was so stupid. Dabney Coleman's character, he runs NORAD. He leaves a suspected terrorist in his office with access to his computer.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I get it. It had to happen, but it could have done better than that. Other than that, though, I did enjoy it. And just like Knight Rider, again, remember, I'm 8 years old. So this time, in growing up in the 80s, with everything being super tech and you know, I was fascinated as a kid with all the flashing and beeping buttons on consoles. So all that stuff to do, even Star Trek and Knight Rider, like I said, you know, pressing a button at 8, 9 years old, man, I wanted Turbo Boost. I wanted all that stuff. So it was very fun to see that stuff. And as an adult now, I'm smiling at it, remembering my memories as a kid. This isn't something I just throw in every Friday night, but I'd watch it again in a couple of years. It's 3 stars for me.
All right, Annie, it's your turn.
Yeah, I love the whole like MacGyver aspect of it, you know, with him getting out of the little locked room.
I was
And
gonna say that was great.
yeah,
It was
and
great.
the soda tab to like make a phone call, like does
Yeah.
that really
Yeah.
happen? And yeah, those kind of things. I thought he was really, you know, good at that, playing that role. Yeah, funny things like Tab Soda. You can't even find Tab Soda anymore. And okay, so Danny noticed there was a sign within that first 15 minutes of those two guys walking in to that room.
Yeah.
And right
Oh,
outside,
Yes, if you urinate in this room, you'll be discharged.
yeah, like
Yes.
what was that about? Like, was that an inside joke for the production or like,
Yeah, very weird.
It's not a sign that you would ever find in an actual military facility. They were just trying to fill out the set, and somebody decided it would be.
yeah, so that was funny. I never noticed that, but Danny did. And yeah, I have to try the butter on the bread to do the corn thing.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, sounds
But it's
pretty
gotta be,
interesting.
corn's got to be raw.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. And then when he said, yeah, they're 41, pretty old. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought
Yeah.
too. And when
Oh,
I
yeah.
was 16.
In
Yep.
1983, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
no,
was-
it's just a movie that I've seen, you know, a number of times. Probably not for a while, a long time, but then, you know, it was great when I first saw it. So I'm giving it 3.25 stars. And I would watch it. It's always fun, actually.
This is I think one of those movies that it would be in. I'd be like, all right, you can go ahead and remake this. What would a modern version of this look
Can you
like?
yeah.
imagine?
I
Wow.
would
Well,
definitely,
they've advanced so far, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that would definitely be interesting, Joel.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting.
Joel, get on that, please.
Yeah, no, not on my list.
All right. So if any of you people are watching from MGM, whoever owns you now, please remake WarGames. Okay.
It's kind of like a Mission Impossible now.
Yeah.
But with a kid.
You got to figure, since MGM is now owned by Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the film is still with the MGM library, because it gets kind of confusing after that
So
point.
then that's Warner Brothers.
It could be Warner Brothers, because it's that early 80s era. Warner has some of the films, but MGM has some of the films, and I'm not sure where this one lands exactly. But if it is with the MGM library at Amazon, I can guarantee you at some point they're going to go, hey, this made a shitload of money. Let's make another one.
Thank you for that very interesting information, Joel.
An Amazon Prime original.
Right.
Next week we're watching Red Dawn.
Which version?
No,
All
we're
right.
not watching any of them. Shut up. WarGames is on Max if you subscribe to that service. $2.99 from Vudu or Fandango at home, or borrow it from your local library. We watch it on Max because Amy has Max. Next week, I chose, I'm always, this year I've been all about keeping us current, watching current movies. Next week, we're going to watch Inside Out and Inside Out 2.
2 movies?
Fun.
Well, don't you think you need to watch the first one just to kind of familiarize yourself?
Frank, wasn't it your niece or nephew that said to go current?
Yes.
So where the hell are they?
Right?
Yeah.
Why are they not commenting?
Katie, where are you?
Yes.
So that's on Disney Plus. So you should join us, watch it, and then we'll see you next week. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.